Good morning. Welcome to my response on the Nacirema article. In the way in which we perceive ourselves is not always how we perceive other cultural groups and tribes, specifically the Nacirema. It was a tribe of indigenous peoples that has a multitude of different practices that to us may seem widely out of pocket or something crazy that we may not understand on a regular basis. But in reality, there's not much difference from what you and I do every day. From the examples of things like brushing their teeth with hog hairs, where we talked about how they floss, or how they go see the medicine men with all these different instruments, but in reality, it was just a dentist. I see a lot of differences between them and us. However, the way in which it's described is not necessarily all that great, and the way in which it's described does not seem all that much different from what you and I do on a regular day or on a regular practice. Something specifically like going to the dentist isn't something we do every day, but it is something that they bring up repeatedly at the beginning of the article, and it's something that we can kind of see. Although it's described differently, it's still something that's important to both groups of people. This is my communication pattern, practice, and ritual based on the Nacirema tribe article. In the night, atoned and clothes of prior family members, smoked in the smell of hunger and the juice of physical exertion, a young man finds himself located behind a circular rubber disc of a man-made moving machine. Located in the southwest and western United States, this young man finds himself experiencing this traditional experience that many young people will oftentimes go through or get to experience. More often than not, it happens between 5 p.m. and 2 a.m. The older you get, the earlier it happens typically. Behind this machine, you oftentimes travel great distances with many acquaintances, blasting loud sounds coming from those specific corners of the man-made moving machine. Once you arrive inside the pearly white gates, a person dressed in white linen and denim oftentimes asks you how you are doing, what you are doing, and what they can do for you. You go through, you explain your issue, which is that of hunger, thirst, and frustration. You explain what you would like and what form of sustenance they can provide for you. After this, they go back, they review everything you have requested of them, and once it is approved, they pass it along to the person standing behind them. Behind them, everything is curated, created, and built specifically based on your requests, while you are sitting down in a temporary dwelling with the acquaintances or sometimes on your own. More often than not, I find this ritual best suited when you are with friends, family, and oftentimes even just acquaintances. After a period of time, you begin to return to the person dressed in the linen and denim in all white. They check things over to make sure it is what you requested, and they provide you with a form of sustenance, oftentimes of beef, dairy, specifically wheat, potatoes, salt, pepper, different seasonings, and produce. After that, you return to your temporary dwelling where you take a seat amongst your acquaintances. More often than not, specifically, we pray to the gods above, thank them for this sustenance that we have been blessed with. Partaking in this ritual, you then consume the sustenance, enjoy each other's company, and have conversations that often last a lifetime. This perspective may not seem all that different from people on the outside in these establishments that are not located in the southwest and western United States, but I can promise you this chain, this form of experience is something you can only get at this specific operation in this specific location, which I specifically go to up in Phoenix, Arizona. Now moving on, we are at the point of transition and the evolution over time. Founded in 1948, this establishment has seen a multitude of changes to the types of man-made machines and the styles that those who partake, what they wear, how they change their style up. That's something that's definitely changed over time. It's been through countless wars. It's been through historical events. It made it through a pandemic. No way in the world in 1948 were they thinking that's where it was going. This ritual has moved along with the times. Their time frame has always been the same, and it's always been something that young people can partake in and experience in a positive manner. Just the way in which they style themselves and the way in which they get there has changed over time. The quality of the supplements and the ingredients that are provided to provide sustenance for the clients, that has not changed. And For me personally, I partook in this with my father in 2009, and I do it regularly now in 2024, and it still feels almost exactly the same as it did back then. So the changes are not necessarily massive, but they are important overall. I don't think it's for the worse. I think culture-wise it has remained very linear, and it has been positive all the way through. Finally, we can talk about the evaluation of this ritual and practice. This benefit to the U.S. culture is vast. I believe it's something that's very important. It's from the ability that it boosts the economy, it provides jobs for young people, it teaches them how to dress in uniform and understand clientele. It provides memories as well that last a lifetime from a culture aspect. Like I said, I remember 2009 doing it with my dad, and there are so many nights that I've had since being here that I understand and remember the conversations at this location and at somewhere where we've had these experiences together, whether that was at 5 p.m. or at 2 a.m. with all my buddies. Specifically, according to Business Insider, quote, "The real reason In-N-Out is so beloved by Californians is that for them, the burgers and the fries and the shakes, but especially the burgers, represent a state of mind." And that was by DeBoard, and that was in paragraph 4. And while Californians love In-N-Out, it's not just California. It's anywhere for anyone it's convenient, it's cheap, it's easy to grab a quick bite. You can get in and out very quickly, and the food is quality. The food tastes good. The food doesn't make you feel awful like many other establishments that you have been a part of or can go to for the same price and the same time frame. And it's not just California, it's also Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Nevada, anywhere in the Southwest or the Western United States has the ability to partake in this ritual and provide an experience for people of all ages, but specifically the young people like myself. And I believe it's affected us in nothing but a positive manner.